glad to be here.
Women taking place, occupying space, being loud.
I always felt like I'm in the right place.
This never give up. I really need to have it also in my life.
Try to stay true to myself and be bold.
Maybe it's just my charm, but I guess switching industries from marketing to a leadership role in financial services was something that felt unique to me, because financial services are indeed competitive landscape, let's put it like this.
I truly believe that each of us has a unique skill set, and it does not matter if we are, you're a woman or a man or transgender or queer, doesn't matter.
I guess it was not only about the work, but the culture itself. When I was working in the UAE, I guess it was very hard for me to establish my unique way and perspective, and that meant to trust and believe my decisions.
What was specific for me was to try to keep my vulnerability as being a woman and leading sometimes with force, changes, and moments where I had to have the courage to not be liked by peers, including women around me, and putting an example of how to be genuine, but also how to build bridges and make everyone feel seen and safe to be themselves.
I can say that it's unique for a woman, I guess. It's unique for me, for how I grew up, at least. I was constantly used to pleasing people. I think it's an issue that is more bound to womanhood, but in general, I think it's a people issue.
Using my skill set and being able to do that and being able to pass to the next challenge always feels empowering and always feels unique to being who you are as a person. This perspective, I don't think it matters if you're a woman or a man. It matters who you are, what you believe, and what you believe that you can do, and what you do with it.
Women are bring more accountability to their work they do. They are more devoted. I don't mean to say that men are less accountable or less devoted, but women, bring more accuracy to the work they do.
Well, I do believe that what women bring is this feeling of practicality, and it's this attention to detail and the ability to put on track everything that men have envisioned.
I think the diversity, different perception of things.
I guess women have to have a holistic view on life, where you have to take into account not only your needs, but also everyone's needs. And this is helping women to support better clients, to look at all the implications, the little details on the customer needs, and make sure that the products that we develop in the fintech industry would be inclusive, and they will answer the best to maybe even the needs that are not very visible at the first sight.
And coming to Saltage, to be honest, for me now is very empowering, because I feel validated. I feel that everything that I have been doing up until now, the experience, the knowledge that I possess, and my ideas and the things that I do are appreciated and are validated. And this feels very empowering.
I constantly kind of feel empowered. I grew up with two empowered women alongside my mother and my grandmother. So I quite never knew we are, in some cases, a minority. So I never really felt like a minority. Even when I was in a room or something, I usually still feel empowered because I know my worth.
I think that when people are grateful for my job, when it brings a positive influence on someone's life, even for a short period of time.
I feel most empowered when I see my people grow, when I see them getting new skills, getting successes, being vulnerable, and sharing their truth about who they want to be, how they want to do things. And I really feel empowered when I get the trust to do that, to build teams and to build something together with people. And it brings me a lot of pleasure in life.
today I think it's a little milder to women, but I had things said to me like, a girl cannot be a programmer, and I was denied from a job application. I had bosses who told me that women cannot have the same rights as men. I was bossed around to do women labor in the office in some places. So I had such cases.
I am of the opinion that you create your own place to be, and you decide how much space you take, and you decide how welcoming and not welcoming is an environment towards you as a personality. The person creates the environment that they are, and based on how they feel, it becomes a reflection of the environment that they are working and living their life.
I don't think that fintech is not welcoming for women. It's an industry that requires creativity, imagination, fast thinking, and women can do all of that, even more. Women not being too emotional and maybe not having enough drive to lead, to become leaders. But I've personally seen women lead teams successfully, lead companies successfully, and I do believe that this is something that I've also tried to shatter, at least try.
Like the most met stereotype among women is that we are too emotional, and we tend to make judgments and decisions based on emotions solely.
Mostly it was comment about emotions. Like, men are always telling that women are too emotional. I also received a couple of times this comment that you're too emotional, you're accepting things in an emotional way. And it's sometimes a big challenge, because when you're trying to explain something and you a bit raise your voice, men already accepted that, okay, it's not a business decision, it's your emotions that are talking. And this is a challenge. That's why every time that when I'm trying to explain something important or argue about some things, I'm trying to be very calm, to express it in a calm way, not a fast way.
Women taking place, occupying space, being loud. That is something that I was not comfortable with in the earlier days of my career.
One of the stereotypes that I still see around me, at least, I feel it, and I see that people don't talk enough about this, I guess, is that as a woman, I'm expected to be softer in my reactions and to be more understanding maybe, and that my decisions will be more emotional driven. And this is something that I encounter really often, not only at work in general, but at work it sometimes may be worse because I'm in a position to make decisions, and it's not very well when people make assumptions about me that are related to my gender and not to my expertise.
I learned to take space and to speak my mind and to be uncomfortable. And this is what got me to a leadership position. I think so. Maybe it's just my charm, but...
A very good advice that I received from my manager many years ago when I've been promoted to a leadership role. She asked me to be more flexible in terms of expectations and to understand that every person is unique and every person has different levels of capabilities, and I should not expect the same level from everyone. To mind the capabilities of each of the employees in my team and to be able to measure depending on the progress, but not of certain benchmarks.
It's good to be kind, but at the same time to stay bold, because most people tend to take one's kindness for a weakness, like for granted.
Never give up. This never give up, I really need to have it also in my life. So whenever something is happening, I'm like, okay, never give up, I'm going.
Vulnerability is a power. Vulnerability and being emotional is a power. Feeling for others, looking for places to contribute, and always guide your intention by your intention to contribute to something. This will make the outcome good for you and good for others. And learning, one of the main skills in life, I think learning to listen and to listen generally to other people will will bring you to places in your career you didn't expect. This is something that I've learned from one of my ex-employees, a woman that I highly appreciate and I admire her.
To connect more, to build more connections, to build a community, but not only connect more, but also, this is from me, to speak your truth. So while you connect, stay true to yourself. Even if your truth changes over time, speak the one that changes, so you will constantly still be true to yourself. And people who are authentic and true to themselves will also stick with you.
You are enough. You are capable enough. You are good enough. You are patient enough. You are smart enough to take on any challenge that is presented to you.
To not be afraid, to not be scared, and to know that this industry is changing like every day, every hour, I think, and that I shouldn't compete with anyone, because it's normal to not know something, to ask for help, for assistance.
Not to be afraid to learn, not to be afraid to learn new stuff, especially when you feel this frustration in your mind that it looks very complicated, plenty of words that you know, but you cannot sum them up in a meaning and understand the sentences and what they speak about. So when you see something like this, go there, dive deeper. You will get a lot of new connections in your mind. You will get a lot of new connections outside if you will start speaking, especially about how you learn it.
I would give the advice to be curious and to look for mentors from day zero. There are so many bright minds in the fintech industry. So a first advice for someone who starts in, get someone who is in the industry for a long time and get perspective. You don't need to change your mind about things, but seeing perspective is something very true in any industry, but specifically in the financial one.
Oh, wee!